are going to be redoing a room. I have been talking about Hygge. It's a Danish word and basically translates to that feeling of cozy, that togetherness, the embodiment, the feeling of lighting a candle, having people together, hunkering down, and one of the words that kind of describes why the Danish are so happy. Now, I have this little room in our home. Scott is so kind to allow me to have our little spare room to keep all of my clothes, and it is kind of my creative space. He'll come into here to read, but for the most part, honestly, it's mine. Like, it's super girly in here. So we are going to be transforming this space. I think when the transition from summer to fall hits, I am automatically ready to get some cozy lighting and light a candle and change things up in the home. And so this is the room I'm going to be transforming. I reached out to a company that I'm absolutely obsessed with. They're called Anewall, and it basically is like a new wall, and they do murals. And so this has been my idea for some time. The wall behind me, the one with the prints on it, that's the wall that we are going to be putting a mural on. I will show you guys the picture that both Scott and I fell in love with. We really, really love it. And the couch that I have behind me, we're gonna shift it around, create some different moods in here. It could be a brand new setup for when we're filming outfit videos and all of this stuff. Now, this room used to be dark gray. This whole apartment used to be dark gray. Scott painted it, and though I just love his style, I just was like, you know what, it's a small room to have a dark color. It also used to have this bed in here, so this genuinely used to be like a spare bedroom. So we took that apart, brought that over to his parents' house, and then we ended up buying this couch from STRUCTUBE. I also bought this chest of drawers from STRUCTUBE as well. I brought in my West Elm lamp, and this is kind of the only room it fits in, but it fits perfectly. And then I ended up getting this clothing rack from WAYFAIR. Sometimes I forget to do befores. I always show you guys the afters, but I forget to do the before. So I figured I just did a little closet declutter and the changeover to the fall season. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will link it up above. But I was like, you know what? The room is looking good. Like, we are looking good right now. So I'm gonna show you the little before, and then hopefully you are going to fall in love with the after as well. Shout out to Anewall for sending me over this mural. This was gifted and we just collaborated and chatted online, and this company is just phenomenal. I'll also take you through the process of putting it up, and hopefully it is seamless. No pun intended. Hopefully this wallpaper has no seams. And here's the before. So this is the room. It's stunning. I do love it. I love the transition we made. I love that I've been able to get rid of so many gosh darn things that it feels like it has a good amount of things in here now. But again, it's not a change because we don't like what's in here. It's just a change to mix things up and just kind of show a different part of our creativity. So I have been really liking this layout. I was freaking so proud of myself. I made a TikTok about hanging those frames over there actually evenly, just to show my dad so he could be proud. He is the king of hanging frames. And yeah, one thing about this room though, and I'm sure you have done this as well if you've ever done renovations at home, is you just assume in your mind it's so much bigger than it is. In our head, in my head specifically, I was like, yeah, of course a couch will fit there and here and whatever, but we had the couch actually here. I'll kind of turn you around. Hopefully this doesn't make you sick. We did have the couch here earlier, but it jetted out so much that the space to actually get inside the door was so small, and it wasn't as convenient. And then when we flipped it to this side, it was so serendipitous, it just fit so perfect. So at least we know that's a clean option if we need to. And then the mural will be going on this wall here. I'm thinking of maybe turning that couch, turning this a little bit, figuring out how that will work, and then this will be a really nice kind of outfit area. But overall, it's not going to be too dramatic in terms of buying new things. This is just showing you how you can change up a room and make it a little more cozy within things that you already have, maybe adding in some lighting as well. One thing that we did actually, which I really love, is that this, ooh, of course, this is where we have those switches and we just hid it because it doesn't have a pretty cover with that macrame. So that's maybe an idea you could take. I will also really try to include where I got certain things or some links to certain things, but I really am obsessed with this basket. I remember when I bought it, I was just, you know when you buy something from HOMESENSE and you're carrying it out of the store and you just look so proud? That was me. And then as soon as I got home, I was like, look what I bought, Scott. So I got that from HOMESENSE. Today we are doing one serious DIY. Let's do this. We're gonna do this mural today, and I am excited about it because I think it's going to bring some really beautiful color to the room. I think it's going to be a unique installment. As you know, we love walls, we love doors here on this channel. I did another batten board installation that I will also link up above. But in light of Hygge and the fact that we are traveling in through the seasons from fall into winter, I needed to bring a bit of a summer flair to this room and some warmth as well. So let's install this room. Also, ASMR. Let's install this and I will take you through it step by step. Let's do it. This is one of those things where you're kind of just like going with the flow, seeing what you can do. And if it so ends up that the couch is the best there, then even with the mural behind it, it's still going to look super cute and super clean. Let the cleanup process begin. As I said, I use a little bit of storage underneath this couch, and I try to push it to the back so you can't see it when you're looking at it. This couch is so easy to take apart. You basically lift that up, and it's actually a futon, so if someone stayed over, we could kind of rejig things around. Now, I had to obviously take out the nails from the paintings that were up. I wanted to make sure that I vacuumed everything while I was moving. I think that's key. Keeping things clean can be a lot easier when you move the furniture out of the way, so that just means kind of cleaning up the baseboards and wiping down the wall as well. There are some imperfections on the wall, and that was just from painting blunders or whatever was going on, but as well as you can, you're going to want to smooth that out because this peel and stick wall is going to show a lot of those imperfections. Now the panels are numbered. You're going to want to make sure you lay them all out just to ensure you have the correct one first. Here what I'm doing, and I'll explain it a little bit later, but I'm measuring 23 inches. The reason why is because each panel across is 25 and you're actually going to have a little bit of excess on each side. And that's the side where the other wall is, and the ceiling is, and the bottom as well, because we're going to X-Acto knife that off later just to make sure it's perfect. The reason why they do that is because not all places, not all walls are perfect or straight, and this will just ensure that you are going all the way to the seam and you don't have like a weird bend in your panel later. The first one is pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. Take your time, go slowly, and definitely get that scraper to push out all of the bubbles. I'm going to tell you why as well. When you hit the middle ground and you start to pull down that whole sheet layer, it's going to get a little bit easier for that first panel. Okay, so I love a good DIY project, but every single time that you do the first step, it's always a little nerve-wracking because you're kind of getting your toes wet, and I've got to say the first panel of this project is probably going to be the hardest. And the reason why it's the hardest is because you're dealing with this seam and the top seam, and when you're trying to scrunch in the paper, don't be hesitant to unpeel it if you get a really bad seam in there, and then just kind of re-smooth it out. Go slowly at the beginning, just peeling the back off a little bit. What I did at the end, I'll show you with this second piece that I'm going to do, is when I got halfway, I was really off to the races because I had the back sheet fully parallel and I was just pulling it all the way along and then kind of scooching down with the scraper, and I found that that really helped. Also, you will need a level and as well a tape measure. This one's pretty awesome because I ended up finding one with a ruler already on it, and the reason why you need that is because you're allowing a couple of inches on the side here, and then right along the wall I made little ticks so I knew that I was going straight all the way down. So all the way across. The panels for my mural, they might be a little bit different for yours, so just check, were 25 inches. So I measured 23 inches on this side because when they print the mural, they print it a little bit bigger so that at the very end you can edge this with an X-Acto knife and it's going to be perfect, because not all walls are exactly perfect squares. So that's a thing. The beginning was a little hard, so let's keep going with this. For some reason, I found the second panel to be a lot easier. This is a quick tip as well. You're going to want to kind of take away that backing. That's going to help you lay the peel and stick a little bit smoother as you go. Because this part of the process, the tricky part no longer is that edge, but it's lining up that pattern. Lucky enough, this pattern is actually quite forgiving. There's actually some bumps and lumps that are included in the pattern which help it conceal any ones that are created in the process. And keeping in mind, when you are doing outlets, you're going to want to take off that covering, and then as you put it back on after you X-Acto knife it out, it's going to look absolutely perfect. This third panel was the bane of my existence, I gotta say. Now, I don't want to intimidate you out of doing this project, but I do want to just hazard you to say you're going to want to pack your patience while doing this DIY and just take your time, because matching up that pattern is going to make all the difference when you step back and take a look at your masterpiece. Once I hit my stride on this one, it became very simple. It's honestly just lining up those first couple of sticks, and I don't want you to get intimidated to unpeel the sticker to repeel just to reset. Now, this part was probably something I would add to a subreddit that is labeled oddly satisfying. I used the scraper and the X-Acto knife to really allow that line to be straight, and so that I didn't accidentally cut outside of where I needed to, because this vinyl cuts so easily. This is another one where it's gonna feel like you're going to want to go fast because this is basically the home run, but you're going to want to go slow with this one. I tested out the couch against the window wall, didn't like it very much, and we ended up going back, putting the couch back against the mural. I'll show you that in a moment's time. Also, with this room, I had one frame and two little hanging frames on this wall. I ended up doing a 4 square pattern, something similar to what I actually had in my loft years ago, and I am obsessed. The reason why I'm obsessed is because it draws your eye up. Both the mural and these frames make this room look bigger than it actually is. And time for the final touches. Look out, here she comes. I love the softness of this mural. I love the warmth of it. I love that it's so inviting, and it makes me feel like it's summer all year long, despite the fact that we will be snowed in soon enough. But pillows, blankets, a tea, my cozies, a candle on, there's absolutely nothing more I could want from this mural, this room, and this space. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you did enjoy it, I would so appreciate you subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. It just helps me continue to create videos just like this. We'll see you tomorrow. It's just the two of us, just the two of us. But I know I'll have to try to let her go, because she won't be mine. I listen when